video contains scenes of violence. Some scenes are science fiction, while others are against actual law enforcement. Viewer discretion is advised. Men and women just doing their jobs, trying to keep us safe from predators of the land. The criminal that lies, steals, cheats, and robs should always be apprehended by the law's mighty hand. Many called to protect have paid an immeasurable price. They've given their lives the ultimate sacrifice.
Welcome back. Welcome once again to my channel, Stop Effing Killing. And we're going to talk about part 2 of violence against law enforcement. What can officers do to protect themselves? So let's get into that. So the first thing that an officer can do to protect themselves against violence is to protect the software, the mind, the brain, the spirit, the heart. You can protect those things. How do you do that? By decompressing, by taking time away from work, by confiding in those that you trust, those that understand what you're going through as a law enforcement officer. If need be, seek professional help. But by all means, don't hold in the hurt. Don't hold in the pain. Officers see a lot during their tour of duty. Officers see a lot, colleagues injured and unalive. They see traffic accidents, crimes against the elderly, crimes against, men, women, and children, just completely heinous acts. And so many times the software needs to be reset. Now, if you can't go outside of the department, which is what I recommend for professional help, then go inside of the department. Many departments, or if not most of them, offer some type of counseling for officers, but just get help. Keep your software in tip-top pristine condition. The next thing is to protect the hardware. The hardware is the body, the physical body. Eat right. Put down the donuts. Put down the cinnamon rolls, the honey buns, the doggone sugary coffee, and all of the junk food that officers eat because of shift work. Bring your lunch to work. Bring a grilled chicken salad, some fresh fruit, some type of fresh vegetables, some salmon. Bring some healthy things to work to eat, or go to some healthy restaurants if they're available in your area. But put the junk down. The next thing is exercise. You have to exercise. Obesity is an epidemic in America across the board. But I have seen so many law enforcement officers who just need to exercise. Consult with a medical professional or your doctor before starting a program if you need to, but just start. Don't make up excuses. And finally, get rest. Get sleep. The mental, the spiritual, and the physical, they all need recovery time. Don't spend every waking moment at work if possible. If you pass away on the job, the department is going to continue to function. They're going to throw you a very nice funeral. They'll have the 21 gun salute. They'll give the flag folded to your family members, and there'll be people there crying. But in reality, the department is going to go on without you. Get your proper rest. Get your proper sleep. The next main thing is to train the hardware and the software. Train. Do not rely solely on your department for training. Don't wait until in service once a year to fire your duty weapon. Don't wait until you get into a critical situation to say, I wish I would have. Make plans today to train. Pay for classes if you need to. Pay for them. Pay for firearms classes. Pay for defensive tactics or driving classes if you can afford it. Pay for self-defense classes. Take jiu-jitsu. Take karate or judo. Take something. or boxing or wrestling, but do something. Don't just rely on the department for your training, because many times departments just don't have the budget to train hundreds or thousands of officers. So it's up to you to get that training, to defend and protect yourself. The next thing you need to do is to familiarize yourself with your equipment. What does that mean? That means everything that you carry on your person and everything that you carry in your car, whether it's pepper spray, whether it's magazines, baton, your taser, you need to know what these things are and what condition they're in at all times. Your shotgun, is your shotgun car ready? Is your patrol rifle car ready? Where are your extra magazines at? Do you need to fumble around and look to get to your handcuffs? Can you reload blindly? Can you reload in the dark, in adverse conditions? Can you get to your mags? Can you get to your baton or your pepper spray or your stun gun or whatever it is? Can you get to these things? Your taser. You need to be able to get to these things intuitively without having to fumble, without having to look for them. And that comes with familiarization, and that comes with training. The next thing is, do not be complacent. Now, I told you earlier in part 1 of this series that, in 2019, the average officer that perished that year, they had an average of 13 years on the department. So that means that these weren't rookies. These weren't newbies. These were officers that had a lot of time on the department. They've seen a lot. So the problem with that, with time on, is complacency sinks in. Well, it hasn't happened to me yet, or it hasn't happened to my shift yet. It hasn't happened to my department yet. It hasn't happened in my city yet. So you know what? I'm not going to worry about that. But what happens when it does happen? Will you be ready? Will you have trained enough to be ready to deal with whatever comes your way? Will you run if you have to? Will you be able to fight if you have to? Will you be able to deploy your baton, your taser, your pepper spray? Will you be able to do empty hand tactics if you have to? Will you be ready? Don't ever be complacent, because the enemy is not tagged and marked. You don't know who the enemy is. The enemy could look exactly like you. So be ready for any situation. And finally, learn from your mistakes. Learn from your mistakes, because sometimes you don't get a repeat. You don't get a do-over. If you make a mistake tactically, learn from it. If you make a mistake with an interaction with a citizen, learn from it. Because these things, this is how you grow, not just as an officer, but as an individual. You hold yourself accountable. You say, hey, I messed up. I made a mistake. But what can I do to be better, to become better, to do better, to be a better officer and a better individual overall? How can I learn from what I did? Also known as after-action reviews. This concludes the series, Violence on Law Enforcement. I hope you learned something or got something from this topic and from this discussion. My condolences go out to all law enforcement, not just in my city, state, town, or country, but in the world, who have lost members due to violence or any other action. My heartfelt condolences go out to the family and the friends and the loved ones of those officers. And the thing is that we as a community, we must embrace our law enforcement officers. And I'm not talking about the bad ones or the criminals. I'm talking about the ones who are actually out here putting their lives on the line every single day to make us safe. We must embrace them. We must help them when we can, to help make our community safer. I also would like to thank all law enforcement who goes out every single day and puts their lives on the line. It is an extremely difficult job. It's a thankless job, but someone has to do it. And I understand from a first person perspective how difficult that job actually is. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. But just remember, there is no you, there is no me, there is only we. And we must stop the effing killing and violence against law enforcement. Thank you. Have a safe day.